Hello photo makers and welcome back to 3D Printed Soup! Yes, it's cultural appropriation time, that's right, it's Black Friday! The holiday that we don't have because we don't have Thanksgiving, but for some reason we're celebrating the sale after Thanksgiving. Britain! But yeah, I got involved and thought, you know what? I have owned the first Ender 3, I've owned the second Ender 3, I've owned the Ender 3 S1 Pro, I've owned the Ender 3 Pro, I've owned the Ender 3 Max, I've owned a lot of Enders, but there's a new Ender out and I thought, you know what, let's go ahead and purchase the Ender 3, Ender 3 V3 SE, because naming is hard these days. I might regret that later. But yes, I have bought this one. It's their entry-level printer, and I haven't owned an entry-level printer in ages. And I always like entry-level printers because they give you an idea of where the industry is at the moment. And an entry-level printer with all the features this thing's got, I'm quite enjoy building. And when I say building, there's not a lot of building. Apparently, it's like 6 screws and a couple of plugs and you're done. A bit like building the Ender 3 S1, but even simpler. Because technology has to be for the dumbest of the dumb these days. You can't ever actually have any engineering. In my day, when you put the original Ender 3 together, there were about 1,000 screws, tons of bolts, and if you did it wrong, the whole thing tore itself to pieces, exploded and set fire to your house. Engineering. But hey, I'm going to look forward to getting this thing put together, do a couple of technical prints, and of course a benchy, and we'll see how the Ender 3 version 3 SE TurboGrafx 64 Super Retro whatever it's called, I'd actually buy that. Goes together, and whether or not it's actually worth bothering with. And is it worth bothering with if you actually know what you're doing with a 3D printer? We will find out. Before we do, however, thanks to everyone who subscribed. There are literally thousands of you. Love you all. Welcome to the 3D printed test bed, which is 3D printed soup. Keep your resin squishy and make sure your bottom half sticks to the print bed. Let's give this a try. Well, that went very well. This benchy turned out very nicely. It's smooth as butter. And yeah, it printed in about 45 minutes, which isn't particularly quick. But this isn't a particularly quick printer. It's not designed to be print quickly. It is designed to print well. It's a lovely starter printer if you want prints that stick to the print bed and actually have very little input required from you. It's got its own bed leveling. You don't have to fiddle around with sliding bits of paper and using little wheels underneath to get it all leveled, and then you realise that the entire thing's warped anyway, so you're pretty much stuffed. This thing was flat out of the gate, pressed a button and it leveled itself, much like the Ender 3 S1, but a bit cheaper. And yeah, I very much enjoyed using this. And the technical print I did was the stopper for my virtual pinball, this Deadpool stopper right here. Came out smooth and lovely. The screw threads in it worked perfectly, went straight onto a 10mm screw and worked well. Played a couple of 100 games of pinball with it and yeah, didn't crack, didn't bend. Nice and smooth and beautiful. So yeah, very much recommend the Ender 3 V3 SE. I think there's Ender 3 KE as well coming out later. I don't know what that is, but hey, this particular printer, very nice, great for a starter, and just great if you just want a printer to stick in the corner, press print, it does its thing, you don't have to worry about it. Because I like a fast printer, but sometimes you don't need a ridiculously fast printer. You don't need to press a button and then have 100 layers done in under 30 seconds. You basically, sometimes you're just happy to turn a printer on and leave it printing in the corner, knowing that you don't have to worry about it. If I want speed, I'll use my Anchormake M5, which is a lovely speedy printer. But yeah, that can get a bit messy sometimes, and it prints so fast when things go wrong. They go very wrong. Whereas the Ender 3's always been the workhorse of my favourites. I mean, I've owned about 20 of them, so I must like something about them. And yeah, some people are saying, well, no, the Ender 3's had its day. I don't agree. I think the Ender 3's going on from strength to strength, and I really enjoy using it. So, thanks for watching 3D Printed Soup. Stay happy and safe. Keep printing.